All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Unit 1. I hope everyone had a great Memorial Day weekend. Maybe spend some time with some family, get outside, a couple hot dogs, a couple hamburgers, nice American salad. I don't know. But anyways, wanted to show you just a couple quick demos for Unit 1. We asked a lot of you to rank these ice cream flavors this past week. So you had choice between cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and strawberry. And what you probably noticed was that you didn't get asked what your favorite ice cream flavor was. You were asked to rank your flavors. So turns out when you rank your options, you get a lot of different ways to calculate the winner of the vote, as opposed to just a binary vote, meaning one or the other, and you pick this person or you don't. So if you rank, you actually get a lot more ways to analyze the data, and some states are actually considering moving to this type of voting for certain types of elections. So it's kind of interesting. I have a little vocab sheet over here for you. You can see that a preference ranking is defined as a voting system in which each voter ranks their choices 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So that's kind of what we took this data and turned it into. I'll head over here for a second, show you what we got as results. So you can see up top, I labeled the table ice cream rankings. It's a preference table, and if you want to pause your video for a second, I encourage you to pause and look at this table and just try and figure out what's going on. So I'll give you 1 second to pause it. Okay, welcome back. If you look at the top here, these bold numbers, right? These bold numbers stand for the number of people who had that particular preference. So when I went over here into the data, we had 30 responses. Okay, so 30 responses, keep that in mind. Um, let's see, 10 plus 9 makes 19, plus 4 makes 23, plus 2 makes 25, plus 3 makes 28, and plus 2 makes 30. So there's all your 30 people, okay? Now, what is going on in these bottom numbers? Well, these numbers tell you what these 10 people had as a preference. So you see number 1, number 2, number 3, 10 people exactly said that they liked cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and then strawberry. That was their exact preference. Okay, so let's go in the responses. Let me see what someone individually. Let's see. This person liked cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, then strawberry. So this is actually one of those 10 people that belongs in this column. So if I just try and get another one right here. Okay, here's another example. So this was, let's see, cookies and cream was their third option, mint chocolate chip was their first, and strawberry was their second. So this would have been 3, 1, 2. So if we look over here, 3, 1, 2. So this person is actually part of a smaller group of 3 that had that exact preference. Okay, so every single column in here represents a group of people who had the same exact preference. So what I want to do today is show you 2 different voting methods that we'll look at for video number 1. So video number 1, we're going to cover something called the plurality method, and that is the winner is the candidate or choice with the most number 1 or top votes. Okay, so we're just going to be looking how many people chose cookies and cream as their number 1 choice, how many people chose strawberry, and how many chose mint chocolate chip. Okay, so that's going to be the first method. And then the second method is something called the runoff method. So you have to do plurality first, and then you can calculate the runoff winner, because this is a method in which only the top 2 vote recipients, A and B, are compared in a head-to-head matchup. So all number 1 votes not going to A or B are distributed. So what that means is that we're going to find a third place winner in that plurality election, and we will essentially eliminate them out of contention for any votes in the runoff vote. So someone might say, why are we doing that? Well, it has to do with this word that most of us are probably familiar with. The word is majority. Okay, so when we hear majority, we don't often actually think of what it truly means. Okay, let's say you had let's say a quick vote, and you had 10 people voting for, let's say, 3 candidates. Okay, actually, I'll just do that on scrap paper for you. This is a good example. So let's imagine that we had, right, 3 choices, and we had 10 people. Okay, so imagine that we'll just call them person A, B, and C. Okay, imagine that person A receives 3 votes, person B receives 4 votes, and person C receives 3 votes. Okay, so imagine that this happened, and remember, there were 10 people. So if we trace the number of votes A, B, and C received back to the 10, this would be 30% of the vote. Person B received 40% of the vote, and person C received 30% of the vote. Now, if we add those up, yes, indeed, we do get 100%. But something interesting has happened here, right? And the fact that no one received anything higher than 50% means we have no majority. Okay, there's no majority here, because if you look at the definition, it says when a certain choice or candidate receives more than 50% of the votes cast. And it says, note, with a preference ranking, no candidate is guaranteed to receive a majority. Now, that's an exact example of what happened here. Person B would probably be chosen as the winner, but they did not have a majority. What did they have? That was suspenseful. They had a plurality, right? They had it was the person with the most number 1 votes. Okay. So when we look at runoff, we're going to eliminate the bottom choice, and then it's going to be between person A and B, and there has to be a majority, unless it was a 50-50 shot. But that doesn't happen with today's data. So I'm going to go backwards in time. Let's see, back to this page. And are you dying to know? I'm dying to know what the results were here. So it's almost as if I had planned this out. Get it? See, it's all planned out. Okay, so I'm gonna nestle myself right over here, and let's calculate a plurality winner. So what we like to do is we're gonna say cookies and cream right here. Cookies and cream. Then we have mint chocolate chip, and then the last one is strawberry. So what we have to do is we need to go through each of these groups of people, each column, and then we need to mark down how many number 1 votes did they get. So let's look at how many number 1 and which ice cream flavor does it go to. So you look at these 10 people. These 10 people had a number 1 choice of cookies and cream. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to give cookies and cream 10. Now we look at these 9 people, and holy schmoly, they also said cookies and cream was their favorite. So knowing that there's 30 people, right? We said there's 30 people, and the way to do that, again, just check how many does that top row add up to, and there are 30. But looking and seeing 19 already for cookies and cream, I'll tell you, it's not looking good for the other 2 flavors, but we will continue because we need the data and we need an accurate count. So I'm seeing, let's see, these 4 people, they liked mint chocolate chip. So we're going to give 4 to them. These 2 people, their second choice was cookies and cream. Their third choice was mint chocolate chip. And their first choice was strawberry. So strawberry's getting 2 there. We go over to these 3 individuals. Their top choice was mint chocolate chip. So we're going to give 3 to mint chocolate chip. And then last but not least, this column of people who went strawberry, mint chocolate chip, cookies and cream. So there's strawberry, a number 1 vote, and 2 people for strawberry more. So let's see. This is 19, 7, and 4. So we're going to go over to cookies and cream. We're going to put the 19 in there. Mint chocolate chip is 7, and strawberry is 4. And let's just make this text a different color just to show you that that was the winner. Okay, and these are small. Let's make this bold. There we go. Okay, so that is the results of our plurality count. Now, I promised you a runoff winner as well. Now, let's examine this data. Let me get myself down here. Perfect. So we had 19 people say cookies and cream was their top choice, and then mint chocolate chip was second, and strawberry was third with 4. Now, two things we need to think about here. Who was last, and did the winner get a majority? So we look over to cookies and cream. 19. Well, 19 out of 30 that's bigger than 50% because 15 out of 30 would be over 50. So 19 out of 30 is a majority and a plurality here. Okay, so that's not always going to happen, but cookies and cream was an overwhelmingly popular choice. So not only was it the plurality winner, but it did receive a majority. But we are still going to do a runoff because we need to get a better look at this data. So let's see. I promised you that we would only look at the top 2 for this. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take strawberry and we are going to, I'm just going to highlight it in like a dark red. So we are not counting strawberry anymore. We're pretending like it doesn't even exist. So I'm going to go over here and we redo this process, but we just say cookies and cream versus mint chocolate chip, right? So we're going to go through this column by column again. We're going to say, all right, 10 people, they still cookies and cream because they were number 1 for cookies and cream. So they still go to cookies and cream for that one, as well as these 9 because 9 people had cookies and cream as their number 1. So nothing new has happened yet. Let's see, 4 people went mint chocolate chip because that their number 1 vote was for mint chocolate chip. And here is a special column. Okay, so take a look at these 2 people. These two people said their number 1 choice was strawberry, right? That's highlighted in red. But we have to pretend like they don't even exist. We have to say, all right, well, if strawberry wasn't an option for these 2 people, what would they have picked next? And this 2 right here tells us that cookies and cream would receive their vote if strawberry was not an option. So 2 to cookies and cream. And we move on. So 3 people, let's see what they say. They like cookies and cream the least because they got 3, and then mint chocolate chip. That's number 1 vote. So mint chocolate chip is getting 3 there. And then we go over to this column of 2 people, and this is another one that had originally said strawberry was their favorite, but strawberry is not an option in a runoff vote. So mint chocolate chip, that was their second choice. So mint chocolate chip is going to get those 2 votes. Okay. We total these up. We get 10 plus 9. That's 19 plus 2 is 21. And mint chocolate chip would be 4 plus 3 is 7 plus 2 is 9. Now, I'm going to record that. Let's see. It was cookies and cream versus mint chocolate chip. And cookies and cream was 21 and mint chocolate chip was 9. So let's make that green again because they were the winner. There we go. Okay, and I'll bold them just so you can see them a little better. So the other thing I wanted to just talk about quickly was take a look back at these results. You see how there's 21 votes for cookies and cream and 9 for mint chocolate chip? That adds up to the magic 30, okay? So that's a nice check that you can do for yourself when you're trying out the vote on your own, is that you make sure that whatever these votes are, they add back up to that original number of voters. And we look up here, 19, and this would have made 11. 19 plus 11 does make that 30, okay? So you can always check back to see that. All right, I think it's time for a video cut, and then I am going to do one for Borda's method right after this, okay? So I will see you in a minute.